to like
lighten it up, slings.
I'm not trying to claim any impropriety or any untoward behavior. I'm just, I would be curious to know the reasoning.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
And if that in fact means that Outcast packaging and packaged Outcast is a thing of the past for the time being.
Yeah. Then you got to travel.
Exactly.
Which is neat, and that's really good for your brand.
Yep.
I think it's the smartest thing that no matter how much beer you produce, if you at least have a tap room, then now you control the brand experience
totally
directly with your customers.
Ooh,
so they give you feedback and they give you, it's just when you have a great experience at a brewery, you remember that every single time you're in front of, on the liquor store or at the bar.
Oh, I was
menu,
there.
right?
They were really nice.
Totally, right? And then the opposite happens.
Yeah.
If you're a dick or you don't take care of people the right way, or you have a bad experience or an event, or even online, if someone says something you don't like, that sticks with people.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Right?
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
It's almost like the whole world is watching, and we need to be careful how we as business and brand owners talk about things online.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad that we see eye to eye on.
Yeah, no, it's... yes, I bet you're thinking of a few specific examples, which we won't get into.
Shame.
Shame. Or I think you say shame.
No, shade.
All right, so Outcast, I'm excited for those guys. It should be good. And in the Barley Belt, Mazel Tov, that should be great. Should be great.
Where are we on to next?
Next one, number 4 in Calgary, Rapid Ascent. These guys have been sleeping for a while. So they put out, Troy, originally he was importing products from Ireland. And then he started contract brewing a beer. It was originally Summit. There was someone else with a name. They changed their name. They changed to Rapid Ascent.
Okay.
Which I like now. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh, that's dumb. Now it's kind of catchy because I've seen the brand a bunch more and I like it. So they were putting out their dry Irish Pale Ale.
Cool.
And now they have a product in the market called the Rocky Mountain Lager.
Ooh.
It's a fine lager. And they've got a lot of progress. I was surprised because I hadn't heard from them for a few issues. I always send out the things. I call every once in a while and just check on people and see how they're doing. And sometimes people just don't get back to me, which is okay. I respect that.
Yep.
I take it as, we don't want to be in the public eye or we don't want to be in the Sooneries or whatever. I'm like, that's cool, right? I'd still usually do a little plug. Hey, their beer's still on the market.
Yeah,
whatever. So for Rapid Ascent, they had their space in December of 2018. Get this, 40 hectare brew house. It's going big.
Yeah.
On site with a new canning line and a bottler. So it's there's some cash behind it, which is great.
I've recently jumped back into The Sopranos again. Started a full series rewatch, and the lines that have entered my lexicon that I didn't even realize were from that show.
Marron.
No, the one I was thinking of was "Bold men make bold statements."
True.
Canning line and bottling in a 40 hectare brew house.
Hells yeah.
You.
Is it? Are you making lager?
Not to sound bitchy, you think very highly of yourself.
Well,
you have confidence in your abilities.
But if you're making lager, you want big tanks. You probably want a 40 or 80 hectare tank.
Yeah, because you want to put out
to crank it out because it's sitting for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, so you want to maximize your value out of it.
I mean, Yellowhead's the same way, right? They're doing their lager and they've got 35 and 70 hectare fermenters, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense when you look at it in that regard.
Totally.
When I was just thinking the dry Irish, I'm like, they're more prominent in Calgary. They're not as prominent in Edmonton.
I don't know much about them.
And I was like, really? But now that the lager thing comes into play, it kind of makes sense. So
Anyway,
they're saying
some serious confidence in your ability to sell beer.
Here's what that's the other thing, right? Is you can make a lot of beer. Even if it's really good beer, you got to make sure it's put in front of people in the right places, and the people are continuing buying. Everyone can sell out. Call that a Belgian snip. I don't know. Yeah. He's saying spring.
Wow. All right.
Which is again, I think it's. I haven't seen the space yet. I've had an invite, so when I'm down there again, I'll be down there after the beer event, beer launch, and all that in early March. But we'll see. Could be summer, could be spring. We'll see. But that's exciting. He's making moves, so good for him.
Cool.
Good on you.
Who's next?
And the last, I only have 5 for Calgary, which seems when mainstream media gets a hold of shit, they're like, oh, the beer industry, it's slowing down. You're still opening 5 more breweries, to my knowledge. And I'm going to have more that people might think could open this year that I know about. I don't think they will. These ones are they've got equipment, they've got a space, they're applying for licensing. So this one was kind of really floating as a rumor. It didn't even make the book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I put it in the book. I don't think I did. I didn't. But they were on my radar, and then finally their application, their license came through. Applying for their licenses.
Yeah.
To get their license to brew. Two House Brewing. So the way that Freehold is going kind of like east downtown, like as you come into downtown, they're over there. Two House Brewing is west downtown.
Okay.
So 10th Ave, Southwest Calgary. They're saying classic European beers.
Okay.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, sure.
Europeans know how to make a classic beer. Hopefully they can replicate that over here.
They've been doing it a lot longer than we have.
Hells yeah. So yeah, West Village is what it's called. There's an image, it's weird, on one of their pictures on Instagram is their like classic, stainless steel fermenters.
Yeah.
And then there's another picture of a row. I don't know if it's a joke or but they wrote it. I don't know why it'd be a joke, but it seems frivolous, but it looks cool. Is like rose gold colored fermenters.
So like copper?
No, rose gold.
Oh. That
which I've never seen before in a brew house, or in their tanks.
That seems seems like a choice.
It looks gangster.
Yeah,
it looks really cool.
Looks great.
But they're like, oh, we've got these rose gold serving tanks, but they weren't bright tanks for serving. They were fermenters. I know the difference of bright tanks and fermenters. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Curious to see what comes of that.
Because there's a picture of them in front of their stainless fermenters, and then like 3 or 4 of these rose gold ones.
Huh.
So I don't know if they just changed the lighting and they're just playing. I don't know how serious they are. I actually haven't talked to them yet. They're the only people that I don't know that much about, other than they were floating, the license came up, and then I didn't have time to... They were like the last minute addition to this thing.
Fun.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Calgary. So I'm saying 5 in Calgary, 5 in Edmonton.
Sweet.
Obviously it's less than last year, but I think it makes sense because 3 years of building, it was like some open, then some more open, then boom, it like all spilled over and a lot open. Now I think it'll be like the next wave of like building it up and going for it. So, or unless I'm just clueless and I don't know what the hell's going on in these cities, and a bunch more will open.
Sweet. Are we going north or south?
Yeah, let's do it. Or we're going to fire through some north and south.
Okay. North and south? Do you want to do them as well?
Well, I'll start north.
Okay.
So north I've got 4.
Okay.
Field and Forge. They are in Innisfail. And they're actually, they already have their license. They're not open as a tap room yet.
Right.
But they're a manufacturing facility in Innisfail. So there's a second brewery in Innisfail. First one being Dark Woods, which is actually building their own space so they can move out of their tiny little closet hallway.
Nice.
Field and Forge, actually a former assistant brewmaster at Mill Street in Calgary, Vince. He's over there, which is kind of cool. So he knows how to make good beer.
Yeah.
And they're currently contract brewing the Freehold beer right now.
Yep. I feel like I knew that.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So hopefully I think, Freehold keeps getting their beer, open their own spot, then they can do their own production. Then probably Field and Forge will do their own thing. Or maybe they'll just contract for other people. I don't know that much yet.
Right.
But I imagine they'd probably open a tap room.
Sweet.
I hope. I like visiting tap rooms.
Yeah, tap rooms are fun.
Tap rooms are great. Next one, Highland, Heilan, Highland Beer House. They are located in the bustling metropolis of Fairview, if you know where that is.
Is it
North.
Beer House, like H-A-U-S?
No, just house. I just said it like a German. That was very misleading on my part.
That's fine. I just want to make sure I'm writing it down right.
So their logo is awesome because there's like the Highland breed of cattle. Yeah. And they have the longhorns, but they're like furry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And their logo is like a hop with the longhorns.
Yeah, looks like a Highland steer.
Yeah. Not all of us grew up in the...
Hair in my eyes like a Highland steer. Where the fuck are you from?
Edmonton. The city folk. Shit. Anyway, so their space looks beautiful. Yeah. They should be brewing shortly. They're going to have a restaurant. They have amazing food that will feature, obviously, the Highland. They own those too, like a herd, I guess.
Yeah, a herd of cattle.
Yes. Yeah. Have you heard of a herd? Anyway, they'll end up on the plate on the menu too.
You're so cute.
Oh boy, I'm adorable. I do know how to ride a horse. I got that much going for me.
A gaggle of cows, a collection of animals,
a tinker of terriers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, Highlands, they look dope. Their branding's on point.
Yeah, I've seen that logo.
They're like the space looks really cool with like the 20-some foot ceilings in like the main area. Like I'm excited to visit there. It looks really cool. It looks like they know what they're doing. Number 3.
Okay.
Red Heart, which is in Red Deer, South Red Deer. So this actually brings great balance to Red Deer as a tour, because Belly Hop's in the very north, Sawback is 8 minutes south, Trouble Monk's right in the middle, just off of downtown by the river, and then Red Heart balances out by being in the south.
Nice.
So it's a cool little, great destination. You can go to Red Deer for the day, have someone drive your ass back, visit 4 breweries. Like, it's cool. It's very cool. No other breweries exist in Red Deer other than those 4.
I'm glad that you knew what my smirk was about.
Talk about local independent craft on adjunct.
Yeah. No, I'm not giving you shit now.
All right.
I was gonna quietly smirk to myself.
No, I love it.
I'll
I'll smirk out loud. It's great. So Curtis used to be a brewer at Blind Man.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
He had some challenges with the whole debacle of the brewery manufacturer going out of business, and he basically had to go there and fetch a bunch of his brew house, which is crazy. So fortunately, he could brew his beer at Blind Man, have it contracted ahead of time. So when he opens, he'll have his beer on tap.
Yeah.
He brewed, but at Blind Man,
different space.
And then with this delay and this other equipment and some boilers and things that were lost, after he opens pouring beer, then his own brew house and everything will get set up, and then he'll be rocking. So he's getting very, very close. And actually, you can open quicker when you don't have to get all your permits for as a manufacturer. You just need your
just need a bar license.
Bar license, essentially, which is great. So he's saying spring.
Sweet.
And, he says he plans to be open in March with 3 beer. Days away, baby.
As I say, you got 3 days.
You have
3 days till the countdown, till the 30-day countdown clock.
3 days to the 30-day countdown. 31?
31, whatever.
I don't know.
A month.
Yeah, I have calendars and my phone's over here. I can't look at it. Anyway, everything's paper. We're going analog. All right, so 4 for the north. Basically, I'm going Innisfail and north.
Yeah.
That's what the split is looking like.
Okay.
Hashtag foreshadow.
Who's the last one?
Oh,
Field Forge, Highland, Red Heart.
I only said 3. Stoney Brew Co. They're in Stoney Planning, which is a kind of bedroom community of Edmonton, just west of Edmonton. And Landon actually has his license.
Yeah.
He's producing on a very small system. It's basically a homebrew system. No plans for a tap room for a while, probably for the next 8 months or a year.
Yeah.
But they will be selling their beer at the farmers market.
Oh, good.
Stoney Planning.
Smart.
Which is great. He really wants to start small, start organic, let it grow the way it grows, tweak your everything, and really cool guy. Excited to be doing it, and whole family operation. So it's neat. Yeah, I'm excited for them. So when the farmers markets are rolling, hit to Stoney Planning.
Yeah.
Grab yourself a brewski.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
So, last section. Let's rip through the south. All right, let's start with Hubtown. This is in Okotoks. Okotoks has been looking to have a brewery for quite some time. 6 Corners, which we'll talk about later. They have some land, but nothing's been developed on it yet.
It's called Hubtown?
Hubtown. So these guys have actually been making some brewery-related things for a while. They're involved in a lot of different things. But you could buy these growler holders, these cool custom wood things, and custom growlers. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff, right? So they're opening a brewery right in downtown Okotoks. They'll have this rooftop patio and this cool mezzanine, and it looks like a awesome space. And it's part of the step to make Okotoks even more, revitalize and bring back the downtown core and bring back the heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you well, to put it that way. Next one, Balzac. The Balzac Brewing Company, or Balzac Craft Brewing Company, I believe is what it's called officially. So the only interesting thing, my only critique with Balzac,
is that it's called Balzac.
No, is that it's an airdrie.
Oh.
Yeah, Balzac's a place and airdrie's a place, but the Balzac Brewing Company is
an airdrie.
Airdrie, which is interesting, but hey, whatever works out.
Yeah.
Whatever your brand is, whatever it is. So Michael's been working on one of the partners.
So they're like the New York Giants of craft.
Yeah, because they're in Jersey.
Yeah, because they play in Jersey.
Yeah.
Fuck the Giants. I'm a Devils fan.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Cooper's Boulevard, which is in Cooper's Crossing. I don't know Airdrie that well, but it sounds like a more
Yeah,
commercial.
I don't know much
Commercial
about
area. Small scale taproom oriented brewery. They want to do English style ales.
Okay.
And fresh kombucha and cider. So should be a good little switch up. They're saying spring. I haven't seen too much evidence of them moving quickly on the space. So I would say summer, but I'm a forever optimist unless it comes down to breweries opening. Then I'm a realist. I'm getting pragmatic on their ass. But I'm saying summertime. Next one, Bragg Creek. So this one I was like, I didn't fully want to put in. They've been battling with like the.
That's been another one that's been on the
a
radar
while.
for a while. I think I met those guys like at the first ASBA conference.
Yeah. So 2 years ago they were working on it. The thing is that they're doing. They have this ridiculous thing. I love you guys. You're great. Baruch is the guy I've been chatting with a bunch. Baruch. And I was judging it with one of the partners as well, and basically. Where their location is, they had to get like rezoning from the region. That's why it's taking so long. They have to like do town hall meetings and like convince people this is good for the area. It's not damaging the ecosystem and blah 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 whatever. Because they want to do a destination brewery, taproom, restaurant, and boutique country inn.
So they want to start a B&B.
A what?
A B&B.
A B&B?
Sure.
Breakfast and beer in bed?
Yeah.
That actually sounds way better.
Yeah.
Beer in bed. Can you imagine? Just wake up, order, they bring you a beer in bed? No?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yes. I can imagine that happening.
All right, then.
Is it something I am pining for? No.
Maybe you had a long night.
All the more reason I should not be having more beer.
You know what to say, hair the dog. Love it. You're the best. You're the best guest host.
Thanks, buddy.
The best. So they're saying, like I was saying, late 2019, maybe early 2020.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was still official. I think it was looking like it'd be official that they get their development permit. And then they want to break ground early summertime.
You're getting a lot of messages over there.
Cute.
Cute. Popular guy.
Sometimes. Yeah, so we want to break ground early summer. Like if you're building a location like that, like Folding Mountain, they broke ground in December and they opened in June or July. They had some funding behind them. They made shit quick, but like to build a building from the ground up
takes time.
Yeah,
takes time.
Things and it depends on your weather, and it depends on your contractors, and it depends on a lot of things. So I'm saying maybe 2019. Maybe.
Cool.
By a lot of text messages, do you mean the editor of the guide?
I think she called as well.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Podcast. All right, let's roll. Newell. Newell. Newell Brewing Company. This will be the second brewery to get their license. Yeah, they got their license in Brooks, Alberta. So this guy's really cool. His name is...
I know someone who knows these people.
Yeah, Viren Singh. He is originally from India. He was a brewmaster out there. He moved to Canada. He was in Brooks. He had a liquor store. And he got out of that now. And his dream was to open his own brewery. And he's doing it, which is really cool. Really nice guy. Had a really good chat with him on the phone a couple weeks ago.
This is not to be confused with Piston Broke.
Correct.
Who's also out there.
Yeah, so Piston Broke is the first brewery to... And they're open now, right?
Yeah.
And they're in this next guy. They got a full page.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, that's they're open and they're pouring beer. They got a righty tighty, you know, ale and.
So a friend of mine who lives in Brooks texted me. She's like, "The Piston Broke dudes want you to come down." Like, me personally, she goes, "Yeah, you." The whitest thing in her response to that was, "The whitest thing I've ever done was mention that my beer dude friend had a beard podcast and enjoyed your brewery's name."
Oh yeah. They totally listened to that episode.
Yeah,
100%. I think they reposted it too.
That's a great name.
That's funny. I didn't know that until you were just giggling, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, you can go to the Piston Broke and get pissed and broke.
Dear. Oh dear. So anyway, these guys are. They said their first brew was in mid-February. When I talked to them, they were like, they had their license. They were just waiting for it. So 140 seat tap room. Get that. It's big.
Wow.
Yeah. And, cask, canner, and labeler. So they'll be doing package product, of course, too. 20 barrel, 3 vessel brew house, 6 fermenters, 3 bright days. So it'll be like a good operation. So look for their beer on the market probably March, April. We'll probably start seeing it. They probably handle their community first, but I guess Brooks is pretty far away. It's south of Calgary, southeast of Calgary, right? Mm-hmm. So I might have to travel for a bit, but eventually. The Pass. Pass is the next one. They are in Blairmore, which is basically the Crow's Nest Pass, hence the name, the Pass. Again, they're building a building from the ground up, but they had the exterior up and it was all confirmed and everything. Do you want me to pause?
No, keep going.
All right. Well, the video keeps rolling, so this is what we'll just focus on me. We'll just do this. Let him handle.
They can't see me.
Let him handle his business. All right. The Pass is opening in Crow's Nest Pass. They have their equipment, brew house and vessels and everything is in storage until they're ready to put it in, which should be soon. I imagine they're just finishing up their flooring and everything right now. So I'd say summer, probably at some point in the summer, somewhere May through August. It depends on how coordinated they are and everything too. So, welcome back to the show, Mr.
Waiting on an important phone call.
How do you know it's important?
Because it's
what if it's detrimental?
Well, I don't know that specific phone call is important, but I'm waiting on a phone call that is important.
Gotcha. All right,
and it could have been that one.
2 more? Can I do 2 more?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet.
We can do as many more as you want.
Sweet. All right, and then I'll rip through the contracts really quick on that. All right, Sheepdog Brewing, they're in Canmore. These guys are opening very, very, very soon. This will be the 3rd brewery, technically 4th, but Grizzly Paw has 2. 3rd brewery in Canmore, which is great because they have 2 distilleries out there and they're doing a great job. I think Canmore is becoming a very great destination for booze. Really high quality stuff too. So Sheepdog apparently is a term for first responders. So this guy worked in EMT for a long time, and a lot of the his friends and stuff like that were in police and fire and stuff like that. So there'll be a charity component, which is good.
Neat.
And they're saying goodbye to the Sooneries. They're saying spring. So and they're coming along nicely. They're moving along quick. So
sweet.
Look out for them. Give them a follow, and you should be drinking their beer before you know it.
Cool. So you have one more section.
There's only contracts, not actually sections. It's like a shout out.
All right. So
but the last one on South is Valley Brewing.
Oh, sorry, there's
2 more. I skipped it. There's Valley Brewing, which is in Drumheller. And again, building their building from scratch. So it could be a while, but they're building it downtown. Loggers and ales. They're saying they open in May. We'll see. Could be June.
Yeah.
Good reason to visit Drumheller again. Usually it was a stopover. When I lived in Saskatchewan, we'd go to Calgary for conferences and things. Yeah. Stop and get a Subway, take a picture of a dinosaur as you drive by, and that was about it.
You never went to the museum?
No, I was always on my way somewhere. I've never just gone to Drumheller.
The hell's wrong with
Is it the
Royal Tyrrell?
Tyrrell, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, well, now I will visit it, because now I got a reason to go there. There's a brewery there.
Science and learning, not reason to go somewhere. Getting shit-faced, however.
Whoa. I'll quaff. I only had 14 pints, Kathleen. I took it easy, Kathleen. Anywho, the last one that, again, was not in it was like very last minute add to the Sooneries section in the book, was Spectrum Aleworks.
Not enough breweries are called aleworks, in my opinion.
Yeah, right? There's Travois Aleworks, Annex, and now Spectrum. Now, I'm worried.
Annex Ale Project.
Oh, that's right. My mistake. I've made that mistake before. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Love it. That's what Eric was texting. Don't make mistakes. I'm the editor. Now you're my editor. Love it. I am concerned about the name because there's a Spectrum beer company in BC, I believe. Yeah. So
it could become Spectio Aleworks?
Yes, exactly. Now, what I do know, a little insider info, is that they had bought the previous system from Origin. Origin started. Is that someone at your door or no?
It's probably a package we dropped.
Cute. Fun.
We'll get there.
Live podcast. Got
That's what the phone call was about.
Ah, nice. Smart. You just let it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bought the brew house from Origin when they started on a small system. You can just grab it. Just grab it. It's fine. I'll talk about it. I'll talk to the cameras. That's all they want to hear. Spectrum bought the system from Origin. It was a small system. They're in Lethbridge, so they'll be the third brewery in Lethbridge. Their first one, obviously, is theoretically in Cooley. So they want to do, obviously, a small scale system. And even in my proof, they didn't even make the proof of this. I added them after the fact. So I don't know too much about them other than I got a lead from my boy Kyle over at Origin. And not even enough to get it. He's going to open it, too. This is serious. This better be a really good package. Oh, yeah.
It's my loofah.
You're an old man now.
Do you know
No.
how awesome it is to be able to reach all portions of your back? Like, do you understand how awesome this
Where the
action
podcast
is?
goes off the
This
rails.
action, right here.
This is not being posted and BeerGuide cast. This is being posted as Drink This Pod.
Shit's important. I didn't know I needed to sign for my loofah sponge, though.
Yeah, right? Oh,
Everybody else just dropped, like, my Google Homes just got dumped in front of my door, but you signed for the loofah
loofah.
sponge.
it's a good name for a weird beer.
The loofah?
You signed for the loofah sponge. Must be really important, right? It's a really important beer. All right, let's fly through the contracts really quick.
All right, contracts.
So these ones are people, they have beer or they'll have beer shortly. So 948, they have, they will be based in Airdrie. Apparently they have Dandy's old system. They don't have a space yet, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, their first few brews were brewed in Dandy.
In Dandy on the old system, yeah.
good stuff.
So Kyle and Dave, yeah, they're killing it, right? They had the jalapeno, like pale ale or IPA. It was really good. They had a chocolate coconut porter, chocolate porter, whatever they called it. They put out really good beers.
Can I interject for a moment and say that up until now, the amount of quality spicy beers has been exponentially low, and in the past year, I've tried two that I think are just exceptional, and that was
Oh,
one of
like
them.
as spice as in
like
some
pepper.
heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the
that
other
one, the Hard Knocks pineapple jalapeno.
Oh, interesting.
It's
I don't think I got to try that one yet.
spoiler alert. We talked about it on Drink This Pod the other day, and it's fucking pretty
Plug. There we go. Plug.
good. Pretty good.
Plug.
Drink
For
This
listeners.
Podcast.
Sweet. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of related to, not spices, but flavors in beer, Ale Architect,
What about them?
they're allegedly looking for a space. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It was a 6 space. Allegedly. But no, they're killing it with their beers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big fan. Mason's our boy.
That balsam is great.
Oh, give your balsam a chug. Barrel Age Mega Mojo,
Haven't tried it yet.
killing it. Apparently I think they have a gin barrel aged saison or something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's coming out soon.
Is
or
it
not,
gin
or-
barrel aged? The other one?
Charleston
Sure.
or Django?
One of those two.
I don't know. I rescind my statement. I should know that.
Yeah. Don't you live there?
I've got a bottle of it post Brewing Awards in the fridge, and I haven't had it yet.
It's been a year.
A year?
Brewing Awards? Oh,
Beer Awards. The
Oh,
judging.
the judging. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I thought you
judged
meant
them.
last year's
Yeah,
ceremony.
they're like,
I was
oh
ooh,
god, they weren't even
get on
out
that
then.
shit.
That's impressive. So yeah, Ale Architect, keep them in mind. They might pull off a space this year. They might not.
Yeah.
We'll
Either
see.
way, they're going to.
These are all people like
some good beer.
some want to, some are just contract brewing. I just want to shout them out. Delta.
Yep.
Dr. Ranjan, he's had his beers on the market for a while. They're looking for a space. I think they want to be somewhere more industrial, more production focused, packaging, bigger distribution,
Yeah.
which is fine. They got like 5 or 6 beer on the market, and they're doing a good job.
Sweet.
Elbeck Brews,
So you think they're on the hunt?
they're looking for a
space?
space, yes.
Okay.
So if you know a space, holler at your boy Bruce.
Sample's Brews.
Brewski. Bruce Sample, the man. So he's on the lookout. Meanwhile, he's got some beers plugging away here and there.
Yeah.
Evil Corporation, they put out a metric fuck ton of IPA through Last Spike. It's like I don't know, it was 100 hect batch.
Were they the test batch for that, or they were the first contract batch to come out of there?
I think like on a craft local level, yes. I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, so their beers across the province, lots of
Not
Calgary
eligible
focus.
for a brewing award
Why?
because the Last Spike isn't an ASBA member.
Oh, it has to be produced
Yeah.
as a contract brewer. It has to be produced at an.
That's what Owen and I were talking about. Is that it?
Interesting.
Is that they were either talking about splitting the points, but both the contractor and the production facility have to be ASBA members to qualify.
Good to know. Good to know. Fair enough. I learned something today. I like that.
I thought that was actually like as
well,
much
that
as
might eliminate a bunch of these guys from future
and as
awards.
much as some of the rules are a little esoteric, I actually think that's a pretty good one.
Sure. Yeah. That's interesting. Next one, Into the Wild.
Let me guess. They're gonna make German style Kolsch and nothing else.
Actually, you know what's funny? When they first said they're gonna make quote wild beers.
Yeah.
I was like, so you're doing like, wild fermentation and like spontaneous and barrel aged? She's like, no, just like different styles.
Oh, so just wild and crazy.
Yeah. So I let them know, just so you know, like that's confusing. If you're saying you're making wild beers and you're...
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So they actually changed their entry based on what we said. So anyway. They should have a beer lineup coming out soon. And then they'll be contracting.
Sweet.
Spring.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're not making if they're not even using wild yeast.
It's a little misleading.
Yeah.
So they're saying
that
it could be more a Calgary, like a West, into the wild, like
that is going to cause you some. You are going to have to deal with people on the internet. Is all I'm saying.
We'll always have to deal with someone on the internet.
You don't always have to, but in that case, you will have to.
All right, I'm excited for this one. Long hop.
Long hop.
My boy, my mate from down under. He said I could say that.
I don't think
He didn't say I could say that.
I wasn't about to call you a
Jared.
racist or anything.
I love everyone except no. Yeah, we have a bunch of Australian friends. You had one on your show just the other day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although I think she's tired of me mocking her accent. I think I need to knock it off. I realized, I listened to that.
If you just get a smack one day, then you'll know why.
Well, I listened to the podcast. I'm like, I am really rude to her. Like, I should stop doing that. That's...
If I'm on a podcast with someone, we're just chatting with someone, and they're emulating my accent, I think it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, but I do it a lot, and I feel like maybe